Hello, Derek. Thanks for joining me today. Going to touch on a topic here in Michigan that has really become an emerging trend in the home insurance world. Somewhat popular in other states, and it's been around for a while, but it's a big change here in Michigan over the past year or two, and that's a percentage deductible in a home insurance policy. Uh, what exactly does that mean if I'm a homeowner and I have a home insurance policy? Is it good? Is it bad? What's it mean to me if there's a percentage deductible in my home insurance?
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily good or bad. It's just misunderstood by a lot of people. And so I think once you have an understanding of it, you simply know what it is and you can take the appropriate measures to ensure that you have that cash available if you do have to file a homeowner's claim. And the
Okay.
percentage deductible is uh, a percentage of the dwelling coverage that's on the policy. And the dwelling coverage on the policy is basically what the home is insured for. So
Okay.
that percentage is oftentimes 1%, sometimes it's 2%. You might see it all the way up to 5%, but you simply do the math, that percentage times the dwelling amount, and that's what the deductible is on that policy. So
Interesting.
here in West Michigan, a lot of homes have $500,000 of dwelling coverage. That would kind of be your standard West Michigan home. If that homeowner's policy has a 1% deductible, that means that the deductible is $5,000. If it's a
Okay.
2% deductible, that deductible is $10,000.
Okay.
The big misconception is that that percentage deductible is just what percentage of a claim the homeowner is responsible for. So if I
Hmm.
have a 1% deductible and I have a $50,000 claim, a lot of people think, well, I've got a $500 deductible.
Okay. Not the
Not the
case.
case.
Okay.
That's totally incorrect, and
Okay.
unfortunately, it does make a little bit of sense, but it's not the way that it
Not the
works.
case. Okay. So the deductible on a home insurance policy is the homeowner's share of that claim, right? Before the coverage is going to step in, right? If you start at the very basics, deductible is your share of the claim before the coverage steps in, right? And if it's a percentage deductible on that policy, then it's a percentage of the coverage amount on the dwelling. So 0.5%, 1%, maybe 2%, and that's what the deductible would then be on that policy. For reference or for context, historically here in Michigan, you typically saw what we consider a flat deductible, which would be 500, 1,000, 2,500, right? It just says a flat dollar value on the policy for the deductible. But now you are starting to see more and more policies with a percentage deductible, like Derek said, that's going to be a percentage of the dwelling amount that is on the policy. So it's important to understand because that's going to impact how much you are responsible before that coverage is going to step in.
And I think it's important to note that a lot of policies these days are going to have two deductibles. They're going to have that flat deductible, like you mentioned, which is just a fixed dollar amount, let's say $1,500.
Okay.
And then they're also going to have a percentage deductible. And that percentage deductible, in most cases, is going to apply to certain types of claims. So you
Mm,
now are separating your claims into two different buckets. One type of claim that has a deductible for the flat fixed dollar amount, and another type that has that percentage of the dwelling coverage for the deductible. Usually that percentage piece is for wind or hail claims. So somebody might have a $1,500 deductible for fire, lightning, smoke, explosion, vandalism, theft, burst plumbing, those types of things. But if the claim is due to wind or hail, that percentage deductible would apply, which in most cases is going to be a little bit higher than what that flat deductible is.
got it. Okay. Well, that's helpful, Derek. Obviously important to any homeowner out there to understand, hey, if something goes wrong, how much am I going to be on the hook for before my insurance coverage is going to step in? And like we said, this has really been emerging into Michigan over the past year or two. So a lot of homeowners aren't familiar with it because it hasn't really been a thing here in Michigan. But going forward, it is, and is expected to stay that way. So thanks for that intel, Derek. If any of you out there have questions about your deductible, is there a percentage deductible? What is covered? What's not covered? And how much of a deductible do you need to pay for what type of claim? We know it's confusing. There's a ton of nuances and differences in the home insurance world these days. So we at Bora Insurance Group, we're happy to help. We'd love to have that conversation with you if you could ever use it. Derek, thanks for joining me today and have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, you got it.